Hi guys, Nicholas Lee here, and I wanted to create this video to help you out, to show you how you can actually build the business using Traffic Monsoon and get funding for free, literally for free. And this is how I actually created my earning. So in the past 55 days, I've been able to generate more than nearly $12,000. And I mean, as you see there, there was no fees to be paid, and I mean, it was all money that I obtained from the bank. So now let me start. How to get finance for free to fund my Traffic Monsoon business. So let's get started. Before I start though, a disclaimer: I am not a registered investor advisor, financial analyst, or financial planner. The information provided in this video is for information purposes only. The information is not intended to be and does not constitute financial advice or any other advice. It is general in nature and not specific to you. Before using the information provided in this video to make an investment decision, you should seek the advice of a qualified and registered securities professional and undertake your own due diligence. None of the information in this video is intended as investment advice. I am not responsible for any investment decisions made by you. This video is based on my own experience. You are responsible for your own investment research and investment decision. Okay, so because we are talking about financial advice and financial investment and all those things, I need to have a disclaimer because I don't want to be responsible for any things that you do. This is just based on my experience, and I hope it helps you. Right, so first thing I want to talk about is mindset. I mean, everyone talks about mindset, and this is very important. So you wanted to join Traffic Monsoon, but you couldn't find, you didn't think you had enough money. The thing is, it's not really the resources that you have that will make you successful. It's the resourcefulness that you possess. And to be able to be more resourceful, you would like to ask yourself the right questions, or actually ask yourself more questions. So I mean, when I started in the business, I didn't have any idea how I could get some money. So I started to think about different things that happened in my life, and I mean, it came down to actually getting some credit cards. And I mean, everyone knows that credit cards have really high interest rates, but I'm just gonna show you that you might be wrong. Anyway, let's move on. So now, how can you afford? So the right question is, instead of thinking what do I have to actually pay for something, you could think of how can I afford something. Okay, so you could ask friends and families. But I mean, I understand your point. I would not really ask my friends and families about investment that they would not understand. So right away I would cross this out. But maybe you have some friends and family who are in the similar kind of business, and you could actually ask them. Another very important way where you could find ways to finance your ad packs, so $50. Think of your daily expenses. I'm sure many of you, I see many people in the office spending 1, 2, or even 3 coffees a day, and that's about 2 or 3 pounds, which amounts to £9 per day. Okay, so over a week, that's 45 pounds, which is close to one ad pack. So you could save on those daily expenses, which are not that important if you think about it. Everyone says they need a coffee, but maybe you can just buy a big box of coffee instead of buying it at Starbucks or buying it at the shop. Other things are cigarette, alcohol, so where I've seen many people waste so much money on those. So maybe you should stop or reduce the amount of alcohol and cigarettes. So that'd be good for your health, and that'd be good for your finance, because you'll be able to invest that money in ad packs, and I'll show you later how you could actually make a lot of money using Traffic Monsoon and ad packs. Third one is credit cards. So I'm sure when I say credit card, many of you cringe. Many of you think about all the massive interest rates that credit cards companies would charge you. But I've found a way to actually reduce the credit cards, increase the limits, and not pay any interest for 60 days. Okay, but I'm gonna get through this. Stay with me. The last one is loan, and there's different kinds of loans. There's loans on the internet, which is called crowdfunding. There's different kinds of loans for peer-to-peers, and I'll give you um, some other things about those, where you could find those loans and maybe people to help you out to finance your business. Okay. However, I'm going to focus on credit cards today because this is what I've used to finance this business, and I'm going to show you how you could be making a lot using the credit cards. All right. Okay. So let's start. So first things first, where do I find the best credit card deals? Okay. So I'm not sure if many people have done this before or have even thought about this, but your bank is your best friend. So you've been a client to the same bank for a long time, or maybe for a few years, or maybe 1 year. Just take the phone and call them. Just ask them if they have any new products coming up, if because you've been paying your credit cards or because you've been making purchases using their cards, that they would be able to provide you with their best interest rate credit cards. This is how I actually got a £6,000 credit card for 6.9% APR. And think 6.9% APR is for the whole year. So you divide this by 12, you get it per month, which is 0.5% interest per month. And again, I'm going to show you more numbers later on to show you exactly how that fits in the Traffic Monsoon system and how it makes it work very well. The other way is you could just Google best credit cards deal, because I believe it'd be different in different countries and stuff like that. So just Google in your area and see what are the best deals that you can find. So yeah, make sure you get the lowest one. Just call around as well. You don't have to ask just your bank. Just ask around and see what is available. If you're in the UK though, you might. So one of the other things I guess that would come up to your mind is you have a really bad credit score, so you might not get a chance of actually getting a credit card. But there's companies like creditexpert.co.uk, checkmyfile.co.uk. So I've used those two actually, and again, those were free because I like to do stuff for free. So the way it works is they would allow you to use their services. So their services relates around giving you advice on how to improve your credit score, telling you what you should do to improve your credit score, and why your credit score is so low. And one of the very cool features that I've seen here is they give you all the different ways that you could find finance. So credit card, loans, maybe mortgages, but I don't think you'll need mortgages for for Traffic Monsoon. So yeah, go on those websites, have a look around. You have it for 30 days, so make sure you gain as much information as you can about your own credit score and how you can improve that. Take actions and make sure you improve your credit score. There's a very cool feature on Credit Expert and Check My File as well, where they give you the best credit cards as well. Okay, in the next slide, I'm going to talk to you about the main things that you should think about when actually applying for a credit card. So yeah, use those two companies. And if you're in the US, I think nextadvisor.com is a good website. I haven't used it, but I've seen some pretty good stuff about it. So if you're in the US, have a look. Okay. Now, how to use the credit check websites. Okay. Again, I've already talked to you about this. No monthly fee if you do it for a month, and then make sure you cancel your membership a few days before. Because last time I was charged and I had to call them again to get a refund, but that's fine, they would refund you. Okay, so it's free for 30 days. Again, I've talked to you about that. That's fine. Now, what to look for when applying for a credit card. Of course, you want the best interest rate. Now, by calling my bank, I was able to reduce my interest rate on credit card from I think 14% to 6.9%. So I guess you could do the same with your bank, but using the credit expert or check my file as I did, there's also the option of having credit cards as low as 0% interest rate. Isn't that not great? So the way it works is they would allow you to, if you apply for one new credit card, you might be able to get interest rate at 0% for 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 20 months as well. So I believe the one I just obtained from Halifax is for £3,000 at 0% for 20 months, I think. And you could do the same. Just make sure you check all the available possibilities, call them, get more information about how it works, make sure you know all the underlying fees, okay? And so number two, when does the interest rate change? So they give you the 0% just to get you in the door, but after 20 months it goes up to I think about 20% or 16%, so it's really high. So you want to make sure you use the credit card now as soon as you get it, and invest in Traffic Monsoon and explode that money in the next 20 months, and then pay back the money straight away. It's as easy as that. So 60 days you could just take the money out and pay back the credit card, not paying any interest rate. So that's how you get credit for free. Now, additional fees. Okay, so you want to bear in mind that there are transfer fees. So I don't know if you might have another credit card somewhere and you'll have to transfer. So check that. Many of them have 0% transfer rate for 90 days or something like that. So you might want to check this. Foreign exchange. So since I'm in the UK, I purchase at PAX in pounds. So there is a 2.9% interest rate for foreign fees, but that wouldn't apply for US companies. So you'd be safe on this. It's only for the UK. But even that is really small, so it doesn't really matter because the amount of money you'll be making on Traffic Monsoon is much higher. There's an annual fee of £24, which again would be crushed by the profit that you'd make. Check about the minimum monthly payment, how much monthly payment you need to make. So for now, mine is 1% of the total purchase I've made, which again I'm going to explain some more later on. But yeah, you want to check this out. Again, do not miss your monthly payment because that would impact on your credit score. You would pay more interest payments, so penalty fees, okay? And then so if you want to know how to get a higher limit on your card, make sure you don't miss any payments. For one thing, make the purchases, and go on the website. I've told you there's more information and more advice about this. Now, next thing I'm gonna teach you more about a bit later. I think I might teach you a bit the one trick that I've used to make sure that never pay any penalty ever. Okay. So using this trick, you show that all the profit will be yours and nothing will go to the bank. Right. So next, how do you use your credit cards with the Traffic Monsoon system? So let's use my example. I just recently, so that's been already 2 months now, I've got a credit card for £6,000 at 6.9% per annum. So I actually didn't use the whole amount because I wanted to have to make sure I wasn't going above my credit limit ever. Okay, so I've actually bought 200 ad packs with this card. Okay, but I'm just going to show you later on how it works for 100 packs. So here there's a 24 annual fee, which doesn't really need to be included now because it's an annual fee. There's a monthly minimum payment of 1% plus the interest rate on it. Now on Traffic Monsoon, the fees at purchase is about 4%. If I'm not mistaken, it's more or less. It's actually less, depending on what your payment is. So last time I paid for 100 ad packs, it was about 3.96, or even less. Let me just check. So it was at 3.7%. but just to be on the safe side, we'll put it at 4%. There's a fee at withdrawal of your money, which is at 2%. So you want to take those into account when calculating your profit. Foreign exchange fee, that doesn't apply for everything, and it's actually 2.9%, which again doesn't make that much of a difference. And the very important thing that you want to take into consideration is every time you're reinvesting or you're repurchasing at packs, there's no fees. So the only fees you're paying at purchase is at purchase, is the 4%. Anything else is just is free. It's not free, but it's not part. There's no fees attached to it. Okay. So let's move on to credit cards in numbers, part 1. So when you buy at packs, you've got a few options. The first option would be to buy. So let's say you're very scared of Traffic Monsoon and you don't think it's going to work out, but you still want to try it. So you buy 100 packs and you decide not to reinvest any of it, and you take all your earnings every single day until you've taken everything out and all of your ad packs are not active anymore, so they are closed. Okay, so as you can see in this diagram below, this is like a calculator that we have, and as you can see here, we start with 100 packs. Okay, and over 55 days, no ad packs is being repurchased at any time, and this gives you a profit of $500. Okay, so you'll be able to take back 5,500, so total earn is 5,500. The amount of money back you can take, because you haven't reinvested anything, all of those would come back to you. Now let's calculate all the costs for the credit card and see how it works. Okay, so total cost would be 100 times 50, which is 100 packs times $50 per pack. $183, which is what I've paid on 100 packs last time I did, which is about 4% the purchase fee, which is actually less, but let's say it's about this amount. You have your credit card interest of about, which is 6.9% divided by 12 times 2, because we're doing for 55 days, so I've just rounded off to 2, which makes it $58. So the total cost of your investment right here is $5,351. Okay, so total money in your pocket is, you take your initial investment, which is 5,000, you add your profit, which is 500, you remove all of your costs, which is 5,351, which is 149, which is a 2.98% return on investment. This is not great, is it? But bear in mind, you haven't lost anything. You've got your $5,000 back, and you've got 149 profit that you can use now. Okay, so you can pay back your $5,000 to the bank, and $149 is yours after 55 days. Isn't that great? Okay, now next, option 2, you can buy 100 ad packs and reinvest for 55 days. That, I think, is the best option. So usually the strategy we advise is to reinvest for 3 months. Okay, so meaning around 90 days. But even after 55 days, you should be fine. Okay, let's look at the numbers. So as you can see in the graph in the table here, we've actually, so I've only kept day 54 and 55, but between those there's from 1 to 54, where actually every day we invest. Excuse me. So every day you would actually earn around $100 per day, which is not exactly the same every day, but it is around that amount, and you would actually receive your $55 by the 55th day, around that. Sometimes less, sometimes more. using the money that you earned, okay, so total earned, so every day you would earn some money, and here we are reinvesting 100% of that amount back into new ad packs. Okay, for that reason, as you look on 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth row, total sharing positions, so you have 296 sharing positions at the end of 55 days. Okay, so at the end of 55 days, on the 56th day, 100 of those would be closed, but that doesn't make that's fine. Now, so after the 55 days, if you decide that you don't want to be part of Traffic Monsoon at all, you can just start to take out your money every single day for the next 55 days, because you've got 6 more ad packs you bought today, which you would kind of receive the whole investment back plus 10% in 55 days. So if you just take your money out every single day in the next 55 days, that would take you to the expected profit of $1,480. So you would get back your $5,000 that you invested, or actually purchased ad packs with, plus $1,480 profit. Now let's see how much profit you actually make after taking out all of the interest rate, the fees, the withdrawal fees. Okay, so same as before, total cost equals to 5,000, which is 100 ad packs times $50 per packs. $183, which is the purchase fee, which doesn't change, and which is the same because you only bought 100 ad packs. Again, using my credit card example, you paid $58 at the start, which is for 55, which is actually for 2 months, so it would be a bit less. And then the withdrawal fee, which you would take $6,480 out at the end of the 55 days, because you're taking your whole investment out plus your profit, and you're paying a 2% withdrawal on this. So the total cost of this business that you've decided to get out of is 5,241. Okay, now total money in your pocket, you'd have your 6,480 that you would take out by the end of your 110th day. You remove this from your 5241, and that makes you a total profit of 1239. Okay, so that's 24.78% return on investment. And if you think about this would be the profit you've made on the 55th day, because you haven't reinvested anything yet. Okay, so pretty much that's the return on investment after 55 days. Now if you were to keep on reinvesting your money, you would actually increase that return on investment after another 55 days. Okay, and I mean, once you reach 1,000 ad packs, you would actually be able to just take your money out, like a $2,000 out, and still be able to keep your 1,000 ad packs. That's how powerful this system is. Okay, right, so I hope this helps you to understand the power of using credit cards and how much profit you can make from using them. And yeah, so now let me give you some other useful tips. So the ultimate trick I've used not to pay any interest in the first 60 days that I've used this credit card. And actually, if you use a 0% credit card, you would actually pay no interest rate whatsoever for the whole period. Now, each bank, bear in mind, each bank will be different, so they will make sure you call the bank and ensure that you are getting the right information. You'll be surprised how very useful those people are. Okay, so I've called my bank, NatWest, and I've asked them how I could pay the least amount of interest on my credit card purchases. So what the lovely lady said, I think it was Kelly, she said that usually statements are taken out on the 14th of each month. Okay, so if I'm able to make my payment, if I'm able to make the payment, yeah, so if I'm able to make the payment the day, so statement are created on the 14th of each month. In the first month, there would be no charge because once the statement is taken out, no payment comes through. So if I make my purchase on the ad packs on the 15th of, for example, January, this purchase would only reflect on the next statement, which would be in 1 month's time. So therefore I've got this whole 30 days where my payment doesn't even come on the statement. Now my payment come on the next statement, which is on the next 15th, which is the 15th of February, and the bank actually gives me around 30 days to make that payment, meaning I've got 60 days to make my payment, to make my first minimum payment on the credit card, meaning no interest rate whatsoever, no penalty fees whatsoever for the first 60 days. So here you are. This is how you do not pay any interest rate on the first 60 days. And as you can see, if you're able to reinvest everything, that's a lot of money in your pocket right there. Okay, so and I'll actually do a video at some point showing you, if this is not on this video, but I'll do a video showing you how quickly and easily you can take your money out of Traffic Monsoon directly to PayPal and to your bank account in a matter of minutes, if not seconds. So if you plan everything well, you could just compound your money every time and have it ready to make your minimum payment every month without paying any additional fees. Okay, so yeah, that's my trick. And before I leave you, let me give you another trick now. So a simple trick in order to not pay any penalty fees ever. So now if you've got many different things to do, you want to make sure that you do not pay any additional fees, just set up a direct debit with the bank. Make sure that the bank account that you are using to do your direct debit is the same bank account that would receive the money for PayPal. Therefore, you can just take the money from Traffic Monsoon, send it to PayPal, and send it straight to your bank account so that the money can take the direct debit out and you won't have to pay anything. You would just be using some of your profit, putting it straight in the bank, and boom, free money out of thin air. Okay, now so just make sure that you transfer the right amount of money. That's your responsibility though, but that's a trick that I'm using right now. Right, before I leave you, let me give you some more additional sources of finance. So if you try your best with your credit card companies and the banks are being really shit and won't really help you out, there's other things that you could use, like credit unions. I'm not an expert in this, so you might want to do your research around those. So some of the websites that you could use are just here. So a smarterchoice.org. So you can also do peer-to-peer lending, where people would lend you money at as low as 6.5%, which is pretty awesome, when they would actually be earning a return at some point. So have a look at the examples below. Prosper.com, lendingclub.com, pfform.com. There's also crowdfunding, I was saying before, gofundme.com. Okay, so I hope this video was very helpful and you'll be able to use it to boost your Traffic Monsoon account and to start making money for free. So I'll talk to you later. I'll do some more videos about the mathematics around Traffic Monsoon and how you can take the money out, how you can promote more, So it's Nicholas Lee, and I'll talk to you later, guys.